So thanks for joining, Heavy. We've made it to day 5 of Rock the Boat 2023, and Heavy has seen a host of new and exciting bands, one of them being our new favourite rock chick, LECIA LOUISE. So LECIA, welcome to the Heavy Lounge.
Hello, good to be here. Thank you for having me.
No worries at all. So the first time Heavy met you, you were playing at Kick-Ass Festival, and now here we are, but nothing but ocean all the way around us, mate. Like, how's the cruise going for you so far?
It's amazing. Can't complain. It's not rocky enough, actually. You could probably rock a bit more, but...
Well, you've been up on stage a few times while it has been rocking, because there was a couple of days there we saw people like... We were like this in the audience, so it was like, couldn't imagine what it'd be like on stage.
Oh, last year I remember that. I mean, this year I saw Joe Camilleri doing a bit of this, and I think Daryl had a bit of this, so it's been pretty smooth, but yeah.
Do you think they're dancing when they're doing that, or do you think it's the boat?
Maybe it's an excuse. Don't tell them that.
Well, if I was dancing, that's about all I'd be doing. Now, you would have seen some new bands yourself on the cruise, so who are some that have really stood out to you?
There's a lot of bands that are around that I haven't been able to see until now, and one of them is Kevin Bennett and the Flood, which has been beautiful, lovely songwriting, great sounds.
We've yet to catch him.
Yeah, really lovely songs, and yeah, beautiful band. Haxan, pretty rockin'. So new and upcomers. There's some guitarists around that I've never seen before, like Jack, who's playing with Steve Balby. I hadn't seen Steve Balby before until last night. He's a real talent. Look forward to seeing more of him. So I guess, some of them aren't new, but they're new for me.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to see some of them before. And seeing Bob Spencer live and playing with him as well has been a new experience too.
Cool. That's actually the perfect segue to the next question, because I was going to say you've been invited up by Bob Spencer a couple of times. Like, did you know him before the cruise, or did that just come about here?
Yes, we have known each other. We sort of met through internet land.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. And just struck up some conversations and some chats, and have been wanting to put guitars in our hands together for a while, and now we finally get to do it. So. Yeah, it's been pretty awesome. He's a wonderful player, and we sort of intertwine.
You look like you're having fun up there. Like, you get up there and this big beam comes across your face and it doesn't go.
Oh yeah, well there you go. Okay, yeah. I don't see myself, but yeah, I feel it.
So, are there any rehearsals with him leading up to the performances, or it's?
Ooh, I'm going to lean towards no, but a little bit in the cabin. The rhythm section and him got together, and I just sort of sat in the corner like a fly on the wall. And just had a little listen in.
Yes, I've noticed in your set and in his sets as well, there's a lot of improvisation that goes on.
Yeah.
So, how do you do it?
Yeah. You
Quite simply put, how do you do it?
Just make it up as you go. Do you mean the improvisation? How
Yeah.
I really love the opportunity to be able to improvise. Some bands are really tight and don't do that, and that's wonderful, and some are loose and improvise and take the audience and the band members on a bit of a journey, and I really enjoy the unknown.
Yeah.
So and because we've been playing together for a little bit, Kris and John, the rhythm section, that they're really happy to just shoot off on a tangent, and then they might go on their own tangent, and then I might sort of join in on their tangent, and then we go, right guys, we better, actually they should probably tell me, we better wheel this back in.
So I actually noticed the opposite last night. So you were doing an improvised solo and you were going for quite a while, and it was building up, so it's going on, and then you kind of jump back into the rhythm, and Bob's kind of popped over and gone, no, keep playing.
Oh, right, okay.
And then you went back into it, so...
Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess I'm still getting to know Bob, and I know when it's his show, he seems to really like improvisational parts, and then I'm like, oh, maybe that's enough for me, but then, he gives you the look. So, like, oh, right on, okay, we'll keep on going, so...
Yeah.
Or maybe I've run out of licks by then, so...
How's his finger? I've heard he's got a sore finger.
Oh, he hasn't told me that.
Hasn't he? He's told everyone else.
His sore finger. Oh, diddums. When did that happen?
Your playing styles, there's obviously blues, rock, and there's kind of, to me, there's a bit of like jazzy kind of stuff that slots into where you improvise there. But what are your influences to get to your style, and what do you consider your style?
That's always a tough one as well. I suppose it's under the rock and blues umbrella, which is a large umbrella, and there's elements of soul, funk, singer-songwriter stuff within that, and like you say, occasional bits of jazzy bits. I mean, I've studied a little bit, but you can stay in the key and then shoot off out the key and then come back in.
Yeah.
And the bits where you kind of shoot out, sometimes it's just like, well, let's just see what happens. Bring it back in. So I try not to think, which, sometimes I overthink it and go, oh, that's where that scale is. And then Kris on bass goes, don't think about it. And then your hands might start.
Personally, I think sometimes when you do overthink it, that's when you come unstuck. So you just kind of go with the flow with what's going on.
Yeah, this is true, yeah.
And what other instruments do you play? Because your write-up says you're a multi-instrumentalist, so...
Oh, okay, yes.
Oh, okay.
No,
Sounds like that's not true.
Well, I mean, I've played drums and bass and mandolin and ukulele in my time and recorder. Very basic keys.
Did you say recorder?
Yeah, recorder. Recorder can actually sound quite lovely. But anyway, so I mean, I used to have a drum kit so I could play it regularly. At the moment I don't, but I have played gigs with those instruments, or written and recorded stuff. But then I'll get the good people to.
So you are a multi-instrumentalist.
level.
You're selling yourself short here. You are a multi-instrumentalist.
I guess it's a broad term, but I play multiple instruments. Yeah. But
Cool.
you got to focus as well on one.
We sort of touched on this a little bit, but a lot of bands on the cruise feature musicians from other lineups, and they're all sort of thrown together. But you've assembled probably two of the best in Johnny Carson and Kris Gilbert. Like, what's it like playing with them? Like, from us, it's a joy to watch them, but for you playing with them, must be pretty cool.
Yeah, yes, I'm very, very lucky and very grateful that John and Kris, this wonderful rhythm section, have pulled me in actually. So we were just talking last night. We've been playing together for about 18 months. Okay. So our first gig was last year, May 15, on my birthday, and I'm sure I'll always remember. It's just, it's great because they know each other so well. I think maybe nearly 20 years they've been playing together, maybe a bit less, but so they kind of, they see in their peripheral vision what he's going to do, what he's going to do, and I just sort of try and ease into that seat and go for the ride with them, probably vice versa as well.
How do you go with the original songs that they play with you though? Like, do they add their own touch to them as well? Like, I know with the covers they add a heap to it, but with the originals, do they stick solid to that, or do they sort of have a bit of improv there?
Yeah, every rhythm section's a little bit different, so it depends on time, what sort of time we've got to get together to work on parts. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And as I say, every rhythm section's different. It's really probably a bit more drivey with John on the drums, which is great, some fat push. And Kris, him and I will get together sometimes and work out some parts and maybe add bits that either weren't there before or flourish some different parts.
Works well.
Yeah.
Now, we've been speaking to you like we're old mates, but some of our listeners out there might not have heard of you before, so for the benefit of them, give us a bit of a history on LECIA Louise. Who are you? Where do you come from? What are you doing here?
I don't know. How did I get here? I often wonder, what am I doing? Well, I was born in WA and I'm currently in Queensland. I went to uni and did music, though I probably learnt more before uni. Doing guitar with friends, learnt on tablature back in the day, then got some lessons for a couple of years. And once uni was finished, I sort of shot off into the world and played the United Arab Emirates and Dubai and in different lineups. Kept the original thing going as well, which has always been quite a challenge and still is. But in my early days, did a lot of cover gigs to get the skills up and earn some money. And then when I'd had enough of that, sort of, I don't know, just have little bits of opportunities along the way to sort of nudge my career sort of to where it is now, I guess, where I'm doing more of my own stuff. And not necessarily being a fly on the wall in the pub, which is a good job, playing music like that too, but it doesn't inspire me at the moment, and I'd probably be pretty sad and depressed for the week to follow. But it's great as well. But and recording and things like that, writing, there's also a lot of cost involved, but I can do a lot at home as well. So I don't know if that answered the question. I've done a lot of travel, played in Europe a lot. I used to play in Calabria every year before the pandemic in Italy. Got into Germany. Germans love music. You guys probably aware of that, especially being heavy music.
They love the heavy. Yeah.
So is there anywhere you haven't played?
Yes.
Speaking of what age?
Many. Yes. Many. I haven't done Japan. I'd love to do Japan.
Now, when I first read about you at Kick-Ass Festival, like, you're inferred as a country artist. So to be brutally honest with you, I didn't pay that much attention to your music because I'm not a fan of country or western. But you're much more of a rock musician, mate. Like, what do you think, Jimmy? She's not country, is she?
I wouldn't call it country, no.
Who said that?
It was actually the little press release thing that came out with Kick-Ass Festival.
Oh.
Country artist.
Just country?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Maybe it was for the wrong artist.
Well, she looked like it.
Oh, okay, right. There's probably little bits of country, but yeah, it's probably more...
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit there, but it's way more on the rock spectrum.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of country gigs, I must admit. Tamworth, I did some bass and guitar for other artists, and so I have got some foundation in country. But yeah.
So how would you describe your music for people who haven't heard it?
Probably, yeah, under the rock umbrella. So guitar-driven rock with bits of blues and soul, funk, improvisation. So yeah, singer-songwriter rock.
Oh, well, give us one song that listeners can listen to then to get more acquainted with you.
Oh, cool. Yes. Well, my recent EP is called Power and Passion. You could either listen to Hot Blooded Woman, which is probably on the rock side. If you like Led Zeppelin, you might like Hot Blooded Woman, or Take It, which is country rock.
So there is a country there.
Yeah, I didn't sneak that one in.
So who's your favourite country artist?
Oh, no, don't ask me that.
That's not a serious
Brent Mason,
question.
the guitar players that I wish I could play like. It's probably
Yeah, so that was going to be my
Rod
question
McCormack.
is, on board, all the artists you've seen, who's your favourite other player?
Ooh, yeah, that's a wonderful question. I still have to go and watch more, but at the moment standing out to me is Jack. And his last name, it starts with a H. So sorry, Jack. Jack H, who's playing with Steve Balby. And he's...
Oh, the Rockin' Birds. The Rocking Birds, is he playing with them
Rocking
as well?
Birds is playing with the Rocking Birds. Is it? Yeah, Hudson. I'll have to go back to that.
Jackie H, we'll call him.
Jackie H. Yeah, my favourite guitarist is Jackie
Bad
H.
Seeds, is that right?
Pardon?
Bad Seeds?
Oh, the Bad Loves.
Bad Loves.
Bad Love.
That's right, and the Whitlams.
Oh, wow.
As I was learning last night from him.
Wow.
I think he's done a lot of very sneaky, clever things.
Any plans to jump up? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. One
Shut up.
hour.
The cameraman's jumping in.
Cameraman.
Any plans to jump in with any of the other artists on board?
Well, I'm going to jump up with Bob Spencer again, and I guess I'm still getting to know some of the others, but I'll definitely be up for it. But I've asked some other guitarists to join my set tomorrow, and
Yep.
maybe keyboard player, we'll see. And I've asked another singer. I guess we'll see who turns up, because my last set's tomorrow night, and I wouldn't mind having some fun, making a bit of a improvisational party out of it.
Yeah.
So, but
Jimmy can get up. You got any metal songs? Jimmy can jump up.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't play
Oh, yeah?
guitar like half the people on this boat, so...
No, but we're all different, you know. So.
I was speaking to Kris the other day about your style of playing, and I was watching you play, and you're improvising some solos, and I could see that there's more to come, and I was waiting for it, and it didn't quite get there. And I said to Kris, can you give her a nudge and get her to open up a little bit more?
Chris Gilbert he's talking about, not me.
Chris Gilbert.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Not this Chris,
Okay,
but Chris
yeah.
Gilbert,
You mean
your
in the-
bass player.
In the improvisational parts? Or-
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he actually said, oh, mate, she's amazing. She can do this weird sweep picking stuff and a few other things. What do you think is important as far as, say, speed, flair, feel, or precision in your playing?
Probably feel. Other humans can connect with feel the most, I feel, anyway,
Yeah.
that's the case. All those other things are cool and fun. They're little fun toys, I guess, which I guess some toys are still in the back pocket and need pulling out guitar-wise. Yeah, there's a lot there. I know it's interesting because I've had some people go, oh, can we have less improvisation, and some like, can we have more? It's like, oh my gosh, what do people
I think
want?
what Jimmy's trying to say is, when are you going to open up, girl?
Open
when are you
up?
going to let it rip?
Oh, that's what I did. Okay, all right, I'll warm my hands up. We're going to let it rip in an hour.
Well, we're metal guys, so we're used to seeing people just play ridiculously fast
Of
all the
course,
time.
yeah,
And that's what I
yeah,
can
yeah.
see little bits in your playing where you hit those bits and I'm like,
Right.
oh, there's going to be more of that. And then you change it, which is cool too. But
Okay, right. I probably don't practice them enough, but yeah, all right, I'll pull that. I mean, you've got to be really warm. And I do struggle with a bit of RSI, I must admit. So sometimes it really depends on what my forearms are feeling as well.
We'll get you a massage before the next set. Then.
Yeah, right.
That rip, how's that sound?
Yeah, ideal.
So we'll be at the show, so don't be nervous.
Yeah,
Alright,
Jimmy's
you
going
want
to
to
be. You see Jimmy standing there like this? Don't be nervous. He's not expecting anything at all.
Right, okay. Pull out the sweet picking if Jimmy's there. Just for 5 minutes.
This is actually your second Rock the Boat cruise, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes.
What is it about it that you think makes these cruises so special?
It's definitely the live music element. People are here to watch bands, to watch live music, people they know or discover new people. You know, they're here to get drunk and eat as well, but the music is right up there.
Yeah. And like, I know from a punter's point of view, one of the best things is being able to engage with the bands, like walk around freely with them and have a chat and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
from a musician's point of view, like, do you, I suppose, learn or sort of watch other people and see how they do things as well, or do you sort of treat it more as your set and a bit of social?
Do you mean watching other
Yeah,
musicians?
like, do you sort of watch them and get tips for yourself, I guess, or like, is it a networking thing for you in a way, or is it?
Yeah, probably all of the above. Last year I was confined to my cabin because I was quite sick, but this year I'm free to roam around, so I'm really enjoying watching different bands, of all sorts of calibre, and what are they doing for audience participation, or what sounds have they got going on. So and a bit of networking as well, but mainly the end goal for me is to improve as an artist or a guitar player, so or a songwriter. So I guess whatever sort of leads to that, and talking music.
Talking shit with people like us?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now, 8 days at sea is a long time to spend listening to music, having a good time, and drinking, let's be honest. But what are your top 3 survival tips for Rock the Boat?
Ooh. Drink lots of water. Listen to lots of music while you can. And
Don't fall overboard.
you definitely don't fall overboard. Yeah, that's a definite survival tip there.
Cool. You got anything else, Jimmy?
I guess it's just the final question. What's next for you?
Ooh, what's next? We are playing Woodford Folk Festival, Agnes Blues and Roots Festival early in the year. A few recordings close to being finished, which people can have a look at my website if they like, LECIA.com, when that stuff's ready. Also going to bring out live on Blues on Broadbeach. We recorded some of our set earlier on. And again, if people are on my mailing list, they get to know about that stuff.
So how do they join your mailing list there?
You can join my mailing list at LECIALouisemusic.com. And we always really appreciate the personal interaction with music lovers, because it's a sea of music out there.
And water. I like the way you did that. It's a sea of music.
That's right.
Very nice. Well, thank you very much for joining us today.
You.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and
yes,
you have been one of the highlights of the tour so far, or the trip so far. Like we've loved watching you play. So
thanks.
we'll be up at the poolside very shortly.
Oh, awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.